What a great time it is to be alive. We've got tons of ways to collect information and data. We got smartwatches, we've got apps on our smartphones, we got spreadsheets on our tablets and computers, we got smart scales and smart cars and smart toaster ovens, all about giving us more data and information about our daily habits. And I used to be a serious data junkie myself, but over the years I've kind of come to the belief that all of this sort of data collection about our workouts and our diet and everything largely may be just a complete waste of time. So greetings, my friend. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Matt Schifferly, with another video to help you be fit and live free. And one of the biggest conundrums we face in this day and age is that it's so easy to get buried under mountains of data and have our spreadsheets and all of this information coming to us. But at the end of the day, none of this helps you actually achieve your goals unless you can analyze and assess that data and make better decisions to move the needle in your future habits. Naturally, that's where a lot of the apps on our smartphones and all sorts of programs that are out there in AI promise to do is okay, let's compile the data and give it to a company or give it to some sort of a service that has a monthly subscription fee, or just give it to our digital overlords of AI and say, okay, here's my data. Now what in the world am I supposed to do with it? Unfortunately, that means monthly subscriptions, funky, clunky apps, and whatever the heck AI is eventually going to turn into. But nevertheless, I have a quick, simple, and solution that will make it much easier to collect, analyze, and use data for your workouts so you know exactly what you need to do in order to move the needle in every workout you ever do. This whole thing is based on my double tap training strategy, the pack-in workout program in my upcoming program for Beautiful Strength. And if you haven't come across it yet, I'll put links down below in the description of how to use it and all the great benefits of it and the practicality of it. But here are the cliff notes: is that you basically have an exercise that you're doing, let's say pull-ups, and you focus on giving everything you've got into just 2 working sets for each exercise you do. And there's a myriad of benefits to this, not just saving a lot of time and energy, but also helping you to build more muscle and strength. But one of the biggest benefits is that it gives you 2 numbers, 2 working sets, and everything you need to know about what to do in your future workouts comes from the relationship between those 2 numbers. So scenario number 1 is the relationship you're most often going to run across. Say we got our pull-ups. And in your first set, you really knuckle down, you do your best techniques, you really push yourself close to failure, you get 12 repetitions. Now, if you're really working hard at that first set, you're naturally going to have a lot less energy and focus for your second set. So your numbers are going to go down, and let's say you get 7 repetitions. If your numbers are 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, that's great for practice and proficiency, but you're really not pushing yourself all that hard in those first sets. So when we get really dialed in, you'll have that decrease where you've got a certain number in your first set and then less on your second set. So real easy to record. You can write down your 12, you write down your 7. That's your data. And then what you do moving forward in subsequent workouts is backfilling. So you're okay, I got 12 pull-ups in your first set. So in your next workout, you do 12 again. And even if you can do more, you don't. You just say 12, and then the energy and the focus that you have a little bit left over spills over into the second one, and you build that one back up. So then you would get 8 reps or 9 reps and 10 reps. So that's your progressive strategy, is backfilling up that second set until the 2 are even. And so naturally that leads us into our second scenario with the double tap training, which is both numbers are the same. So you have 12 pull-ups, and then you have 12 on your second set. Good, congratulations. Now, what do you do here? Well, you got a couple of options. The first of which is just, pour more into the first set on your next workout. So now you've got more strength and more stamina and endurance. So you've got from 12, you get 15, and then the next set you do will probably be 9 repetitions because, again, you don't have as much left over, and you restart the whole backfilling process over your subsequent workouts. But another strategy that you can use is to focus on technical quality over quantity. So you could say you got 12 reps and then 12 reps, but those 12 reps weren't exactly the prettiest of reps, especially towards the end, and kicking your feet around. You're not using really that much range of motion. It's like 12 reps, but not really quite 12 reps. So in that case, what you can do is freeze the workout. So I put a little F next to that second 12. That means don't do anything to the reps of the weight. Keep everything frozen in place. But underneath, I'll write down what is the technical thing you're working on. And this is something to just pay attention to what's different for you. One of the easiest ways to know what to work on technical level is what is eroding as you get fatigued. Is your range of motion shorter? Is your body position changing? Are you kicking your legs around? What is falling apart, in other words, as you get fatigued? You write down what that is, and then you continue to work on cleaning that technical ability up. So that way you've got 2 sets that you're working on, and you're working on the ability to do the exercise to a higher level, which is still progressive in nature. And then finally, the third scenario that you may run into, not very often, but it does happen, is you get a certain number of repetitions on your first set, let's say 8, but then you get more repetitions on your second set, let's say 10. So what does that mean? Well, basically what it means is that you need a little bit more warm up or ramp up in that tension chain or those movement patterns. And the first set was kind of a little bit more of just a warm up instead of an actual work set. So in that case, you have like 8 and then 10. That 10 is actually your first work set. And then you go for another set in addition to that. So then on the second set, you would get like 6, for example. So that's what you're looking for. So then you know, okay, in the next several workouts, I need to do a warm-up set or 2, rows or a lighter set of pull-ups where you're not quite pushing yourself to a high degree of fatigue, but you're ramping up your nervous system, getting things to contract, improving tension control, 1 or 2 little bit of a warm-up for that exercise. Then you have your work sets and you'll have the decreasing repetitions and you can continue with the backfilling strategy. So the data collection, the assessment, and knowing what to do in order to make progress is real simple and easy with Double Tap training. And you don't need funky, clunky apps. You don't need monthly subscriptions, and you don't need AI in order to tell you what to do because it's right there in front of your face, making it real simple, efficient, and streamlined for all of the workouts you're going to be doing. Best of luck in your workouts this week. Be fit and live free.